the trailer dropped for The Fast and the Furious 9, or F9, which is the penultimate film in what's now being called the Fast Saga. And it was daft, with over-the-top car stuff that was only topped by John Cena being cast as Vin Diesel's brother. It was treated with a lot of the usual positivity, but also a bit of reflection, as we all pondered on how this film series that started with criminals driving Hondas and stealing VCRs got to international assassins and what appears to be Vin Diesel catching a flying car. But that triggered a memory, one about airjacking. But before that, let's run through the history real quick. So the first Fast and Furious film, The Fast and the Furious, came out in 2001. And was a pretty big hit. It cemented Vin Diesel as a movie star after his turn in Pitch Black, as well as doing the same for Paul Walker. It was successful enough for a sequel, which Diesel and director Rob Coher said no to. So only Walker returned for Too Fast, Too Furious, and then he turned down the third film, Tokyo Drift. This tried to move the franchise more towards the car enthusiasts, which didn't connect with a wider audience. It was pretty clear from the trajectory of the series that the only feature for it was direct-to-DVD. And at the time, Vin Diesel was following a somewhat similar career path. His next move was XXX, which was clearly going to be a surefire hit from the team behind The Fast and the Furious. That did okay, but Diesel ended up ditching the sequel, and this was followed by a similar sliding scale of diminishing returns in his other film choices. Clearly, it was time to get the band back together, which happened in 2009 for Fast and Furious. This was a soft reboot of the series. Soft reboots being something we'll talk about in another video at some point. It started moving the series more towards heists and spy stuff, and was the first domino fall that got us from what was a fairly grounded crime melodrama to the over-the-top insanity of the films that would follow. Seriously, some people may shudder at the fact there will end up being 10 mainline Fast films, excluding spin-offs, but you couldn't have gone from this to this.
That's a goddamn heat seeker coming at us. Peel off. Head to the shore. All right. Come and get it.
In the space of one film, that kind of tonal shift would have given the audience whiplash. But what's interesting is that shift. From the fourth film, Vin Diesel came on as a producer, so he clearly had a greater influence on the film. So you can see him bringing in elements from XXX, a film that wanted to be its own franchise, but in a way ended up being the template for another. But then there's also a video game that we have to mention, Wheelman, released in 2009. This is one of those open-world car games that followed in the wake of Grand Theft Auto 3. Vin Diesel's likeness was used in the game, joining a proud lineage of actors like Bruce Willis, Jean Reno, and most recently Keanu Reeves. In the game, he's an undercover CIA agent infiltrating a gang as a getaway driver, which allows for lots of car chases and all that. It also introduced one of the greatest video game mechanics of all time, airjacking. Now, what is airjacking, I hear you say? Well, simple. In other games where you can steal cars, you'd have to wait for the other car to stop before you can throw the driver out and drive off. But that's not good enough for Vin Diesel. So in Wheelman, you can leap from your car to another and then steal it. It's in these moments that you can really feel the DNA of late period Fast films. Seriously, doesn't this remind you of this at all? Obviously, this is rampant speculation. I don't think the inspiration for the shift in the Fast films has ever really been put out there, but it's interesting to see them sat there in the background and seeing their potential influence on a billion-dollar film franchise. Of course, the true reason why the Fast films are so popular is because at their heart, they're all about family.